microphone.
Okay. Why don't you tell me your name?
Cody Peterson.
Okay, thank you. We've worked together for a few years now. When did we start working together?
October 2014-ish.
2014. So we're right at 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
We've worked pretty much 12-hour shifts with each other.
Almost daily.
Almost on a daily basis for about 3 years now. How well would you say that you know me?
Fairly well. I think I have a insight on your personal life back home, more so than the majority of colleagues here that work with us. I have an idea as to things you like, you don't like.
Okay.
Circle of friends.
I'd agree with that. We talk a bit more than I talk with other people here. How would you describe my personality or character?
I'd say you're not afraid to take charge. You don't shirk your duties, so you follow through on what you're tasked to do. But also, not only as a good leader, I'd say you're a good follower. I don't think you buck up to authority, so you can lead and follow, which is very, I think, valuable.
Right. Some would say you can't lead until you know how to follow. So just continue with that. Based off of what you just said, what would you say are some of the strengths that I possess? I mean, we've talked about this class before. This is an entrepreneurship class, so kind of along those lines, what are some strengths that might help if I were to branch out and start a business or become an entrepreneur?
Well, I'd say that your interest in a topic, not to a fault, but I think very strongly, almost becomes an obsession, and you dig and dive into that topic as deeply as you can, and you compare it to other types of industries and kind of draw parallels from that. I'd say that you're persistent in obtaining that knowledge, and then you follow through on what you find out. You've made contact with distributors or manufacturers of certain products to find out more information, and you've taken initiative in a lot of things like that.
Not to put you completely on the spot, but do you have like an example? You said when I dive into stuff.
Certainly. So, what was it? A year and a half ago, you had your kick on lightweight hiking gear. So you went out and purchased the best sewing machine that would adequately handle those types of materials, and then you scoured forums and blogs and any type of information pool you could, laid out a design and built your hammocks. And then more recently with the indestructible dog bed idea, obviously you have that issue with your Tyrannosaurus Rex of a dog. And to be able to identify that that's a problem that you have and probably others also have, and to find out, how do I turn this into something I can monetize? So reaching out to those fabric makers and finding out what you can, and they send you a spec sheet on those fabrics, and you're like, well, here's more information I can learn about. So finding out about the threads and the weaves and all sorts of things like that. So I'd say you're driven to continue on, whereas you don't. It's not all short-sighted.
Right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure thing.
You may have already answered this, but what would you say sets me apart or makes me different from others? Or what is it? Is there anything that I do that would be better than the way other people would do it, or the majority of people? My dad brought up a good point when he said that there's always going to be somebody who does it better than you.
Right.
But in general, what is something that I do better than most people?
Well, you're open. You ping ideas off of those around you to initiate some type of feedback to see if that's viable. I, as someone who doesn't have a particularly destructive dog, you've still come to me and asked me, hey, what could be improved, or how would you approach this angle? So you look at something and you'll take feedback in a very positive way and I've never seen you discouraged because of negative feedback or even the difficulty that may be at hand. So, and it kind of goes back to persistence, which will probably lend itself to you in the long term.
So, just to summarize, you said persistence, not discouraged easily, and did I miss one?
Tenacious.
Tenacity.
Sure. But inquisitive, I'd say. You're hungry for knowledge, so.
Okay, I'll take it. Well, thank you.
Yeah, must have.